Yo, what's up, my beautiful people? I want to thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review, season 2, episode 20, entitled Catch Fade. Now, I know last night was a special kind of episode because I think universally, maybe not everybody felt it, but a lot of us were in our feelings. A lot of us were pissed. A lot of people were upset. A lot of us were mad, angry, wanted to fight and punch and shoot somebody. I get it. I'm with there with y'all all on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. We were all, for the most part, feeling some type of way, and some of y'all are continuing to feel that type of way today. In my inbox, it was hot. It was hot, and I was hot right along with y'all. I wasn't shocked or anything, but just to see these things play out really just made me mad. So I thank y'all for coming in my DMs, my inbox, and all that other good stuff. It has been great conversing with y'all last night and today. This review is gonna be all over the place because I'm gonna be honest. I watched this episode 3 times. The first time that I watched it, it didn't catch my attention. Like honestly, I just stopped paying attention to it, and I'm like, is it that bad? Like, what's going on? So I watched it a second time because I recorded, so I can filter through the commercials. Fast forward, I watched it again. It was hard for me to get through the episode. I watched it again this morning, and I'm like, nah, bruh, I just don't. This was probably in my personal opinion, one of the worst episodes of the series. Like, I could not get into this episode, and then of course, Tyler waited until the last minute, the last, few moments to bring out the thing that we really wanted to know. And so that's what I'm going to start with. So I will touch on everybody's stuff, but we going to deal with this whole Zach, Karen, Fatima, Aaron situation for a minute. We are really going to stay there because it's a lot to digest. It's a lot to deal with. It's just a lot. So we're going to start. Well, let me start with Zach going to the airport. I don't know why Zach is always on 10. Zach is just, like I said, he throws a temper tantrum every episode. So we see Zach. He shows up to the airport. Basically, he's going to ask Danny, did she do what he asked her to do concerning Karen, like to leave him alone, not bother him, whatever. So Sabrina walks up and Sabrina speaks. I can't remember if Sabrina said hey or hi, but she did acknowledge both Danny and Zach by her greeting. And he was just like, you don't see me standing here. And she was like, oh, my bad. You know what? You probably think I did it too. All y'all can kiss my ass. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have always had an issue with the way that Zach talks to the women on the show. It has always been an issue for me, and nothing. He just gets the pat on the back and like, well, dang, what's wrong with him? What you know? Why is Zach giving a pass to talk to y'all any way that he wants to talk to y'all? I think that's bull crap, and I can't stand it. So we get to the salon, and Aaron comes, and Karen checked herself in the mirror to make sure she was straight or whatnot, and he came to bring her. He got her some roses or some flowers or whatever, and she asked Pam to put them in water, and she grabbed his hand and led him to the office, and he ended up giving her a foot massage, and she was like, yeah, that's great since I can't get the other thing, and he was like, oh, we on that. And so he was like, we got it. She was like, no, you got it. Like, I don't have it. And so Karen suggested that she talks to Rachel. And we know that Rachel is the first lady that came in and got her hair done. And she was like, Aaron was like, well, she's married. And she was like, yeah, but, they had to have dated. I just got to ask, like, how did she do it? Like, somebody got to know. Someone has to know the answer to how do you maintain celibate when you want to, engage in sex with someone that you're attracted to, someone that you actually like, someone that you enjoy being in their presence and them being in yours. So he says that maybe they could talk about it, over dinner. And so Karen was like, are you serious? And he was like, very serious. So that let me know that maybe, because we may never know now what the hell Aaron was going to talk to her about. But just maybe he was able to see, you know what, this woman is really, trying to do this for me. Maybe I can bend, like I said, we may not ever know now what he wanted to talk to her about. But that's what it was. And so she forgot that she had to go to Andy's house. She was going to Andy's house with the girls. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. So asshole comes in. And this is probably why I would never like the character of Zach. So he comes in, where's Karen? Nobody has seen you in this shop since a month of Sundays, as the old people say, you come in, what's up, Pam? How you doing? Not, where's Karen? She was like, she's in the back. So he tried to go, and she was like, you can't go back there. Oh, she back there with dude. So Aaron and Karen comes from the back, and I need to talk to you. Like, we need to talk. And she was like, what do we need to talk about, Zach? And so he addressed Aaron, like, you just gonna stay here. Can I talk to her? And so Aaron asked, did he need to stay? Karen said, no, I'll just see you at home. And so Zach was like, home. And I'm like, yeah, home. Like, you, and this is another thing that bothers me about Zach. I don't understand why Zach has been given the license to come in and act like he running things. Like, it's just I don't know. I don't like it. And even when, Aaron left, I really wish I could talk to Tyler Perry personally and ask him, of all the people on the show, why is it that you write Zach to be a victim? Like, Zach is always the victim. Karen, you hurt me. You resented me. Karen, you made me feel like shit. You never did this. You never did. First of all, you're not going to deflect any of your insecurities onto me. It's not my fault that you cheated. It's not my fault that you didn't help. Hell, according to the second synopsis, or how Tyler just changed the damn storyline, Karen is the one who helped you get that job through Danny at the airport. Now, you work in the airport, you work in Atlanta. You getting something, Zach. So to not even have the dignity to offer to help is a problem. Like, I hate the fact that it's like Tyler writes Zach for women to pity him, while the women on the show are written as if they can't make intelligent decisions about their personal lives, about their romantic lives. And so, like I said, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. So she takes Zach in the bag. She was like, with your needy ass. And so she showed him the signature. And she was like, this is your signature. Zach didn't say, Karen, I didn't do this. That is not my, whatever. He was just like, you really think that I would do this? And he wanted Karen to look him in his eyes and say, I think you did this. And she wouldn't do it, but she was like, you should have never did it. And he went and just talked so much about how I love you. I loved you. I always loved you. It hurt me that I couldn't help you. It hurt me that you come to work and you resent me when you get home. I couldn't, why me, woe me. I am so freaking tired of Zach. It makes no sense. He literally makes my head hurt. He literally gives me a headache. And I'm looking at Karen and I'm like, Karen, don't fall for this mess. Do not fall for this mess. Like, it's Zach. It's Zach. Don't fall for this. And so every time I heard Zach talk about, he said the word love so much that every time he said love, this is all I heard in my head. Love, dum, dum, dum. So many people use your name in vain. Love. That's how I feel about Zach. Zach doesn't know a damn thing about love. Because if he did, he would have known that love should have brought your ass home last night. Shout out to Boomerang. This is probably going to be one of the craziest reviews I do. But I'm just like, he knows nothing about love. To ask Zach, what does it mean to love somebody? If we go back to, I think it was the first episode of the series, and Karen was like, Zach, what is love to you? And he said, it's the way I feel about you. I knew then. He can't even talk. Like, I think so many people use love, the word love, in vain. Just like Music Soul Child said, so many people use your name in vain without really knowing what it is, without being able to express it. Because to me, the only way that Zach demonstrates any type of emotion that is romantically linked, it has to be for sex, period. Now, I'm going to break this down because it's a whole lot of people. I'm just giving my perspective, my personal opinion. There's a whole lot of people who are angry. They're like, we going to boycott the show. We not going to watch the show. And I get it, because sometimes it is hard to watch these characters do the same bullshit season after season. We are at the end of season 2. Season 3 is quickly approaching. They've already filmed. It's already, wrapped up. And it's like, no one wants to see the same characters do these repetitive, toxic actions. We don't want to see these people in toxic situations. They're 36. Can we please see someone strive? And I think a lot of the disappointment has to do with, for whatever reason, Tyler chose the character of Karen. And he went through all this to to create this more matured version, this more, thought provoking person about what she deserves, what her girls deserve, how they should be treated, the type of men that they want. And I'm like, you did all of this and you made people believe that, yes, Karen gonna be that one. And then she had a little setback. Now, I will say this, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never, done some stupid stuff, because I have, and that I've never been with someone that I knew was no good for me at that time. Not as toxic, not toxic like Zach as, but transparency moment. Because we're, men, y'all could chime in too. I'm not a man, so I can't speak from that perspective. As a woman, I was in a relationship and we broke up. We got back together thinking that we can make it work. But the damage had already been done. This was not going to flourish. I think we were together 3 months after we broke up. And, once we got back together, and it was like, this is not it anymore. That shit is sunk. It was done. Now, even though we were broken up, we could not leave each other alone. Like, we were still having sex consistently. And the last time that we were, sexually engaged, the last time felt like the last time. And I remember, looking at him, because I wanted to move on. And I've never been that girl. If you break up with me and we decide to get back together, try to make it work, because I didn't want to end it now. But if I break up with you, we done. Call me selfish, call me whatever. But if I end it, we are done, because I don't go back. Once I close something, I do not reopen it. And that's just me. And I've always been that way. But I could not stop having sex with him. It was like, I needed it. And I'm going to be honest, hell, makeup sex is like top tier sex. I miss you sex is like top tier sex too. Because it's like, I miss you, I love you, but we are not good together. And there's so many emotions. Maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe that's what's the issue. But I got to the point and I was like, you know what, Mike? Shit. Didn't mean to say his name. I might have to edit that out. But we had a serious conversation, because I'm like, if I want to move forward with my life and, get involved with someone else and have something serious with someone, we can't continue to do this. And it was almost like it was a separation anxiety that we were both dealing with, because we were so close and we were really good friends before the relationship turned romantically. And, it was just a hard thing, but you have to get to that place where we are done. I'm not going to entertain you. We speak occasionally, even now, but it's like, you have to be gung-ho on, I am not going there with you. And even going back to Karen, she was like, Zach, just leave, because she could feel herself. Like, let's not forget, Zach been getting his rocks off consistently. Karen, no, absolutely not. I don't believe, and this is just me, I don't believe that Karen had sex with Zach because she loves him. I think Karen had sex with Zach because she's sexually frustrated and she was horny. Now, it doesn't justify what she did, because Karen is a big-ass hypocrite. So it doesn't justify. She is what she is, and she is a hypocrite. You did what you did, but I don't think it had anything to do with love. I think that Zach had sex with Karen because he loves her. And according to what he believed, love is, that's what it was for. So even with them, their exchange was on two different realms. Karen had nothing to do to me with feelings. It had everything to do with sex and the lack thereof. Zach, because this is the pattern. They break up, they have sex, they get back together. But I don't think the latter is going to happen. I do not believe that Karen wants Zach in that way. And I do believe that, unfortunately, Zach has more to lose in this situation than Karen does. Because once Fatima finds out, baby girl is done. Okay? Baby girl is done. It's done. Now, with Aaron, on the other hand, oh, my poor baby. I don't know how he's going to respond, because he walked in on them. That is something, and I told y'all in my last review that I walked in on someone. We weren't together, but I walked in on him in a extreme compromising position. And that visual does not die. Like, I don't think about it often at all, but it is a very vivid image, and it is very vivid, very real. And it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't disappear. It's still something that I vividly remember. And so I don't know how Aaron is going to deal with that. Seeing this one, and I really do honestly believe that Aaron loves Karen. And I don't know how he's going to respond to seeing her in that way, especially when he just told you that I wanted to talk to you about, the sexual aspect of our relationship. Now they are not committed. So I'm interested to see if Aaron is going to stand by the words that he spoke to Karen, because some people are mad because they feel like, yeah, even though they didn't state they were committed, Karen was foul for what she did. Now I do agree with that. I do agree that Karen was foul to do what she did. I also believe that Karen was caught off guard. And I remember I was listening to this Sunday message one day, and it was like, what happens when the iniquity of your heart meets opportunity? And I think that's what happened. It was like, what happens when something that you want, something that you honestly want, and maybe not even with Zach. But hell, she knew if she did go there with Zach, it wouldn't be a disappointment because she knows what he's working with. I just think it was sad for both Fatima and Aaron, but more so Aaron because he actually saw it. Now, y'all know how I feel about Fatima. I don't, Fatima to me just never took the proper inventory. You know what I'm saying? That's why I still stand on, I believe Fatima all the way was a rebound and a jump off. But I don't believe that with Aaron to me, because Karen was doing too much to try to stay on the right road as far as, what can she do? How can she remain this in this abstinent place with him, even so far as going to talk to the first lady. So that doesn't show me that, this was just for show or just for her trying to get over Zach. Another argument, and I had a few people today to say this, and I understand both sides. You have people who believe that Karen has made no changes. She is the exact same person. And then on the other hand, you have people that feel like, I do believe that Karen has changed. She just made a really shitty decision. You know what I'm saying? And I tend to agree with the latter. I do believe that Karen has changed. I just believe that Karen was caught in a weak moment, and having sex with Zach was the result. Now, we're going to come back to that, but let's get on to these other people in this darn episode. But let me know, did y'all like this episode? Was it just me? I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. But anyway, so the first scene is with Andy. So, Jasmine got her two little goons with her, and they trying to jump, which they did. They didn't really get no good licks in or nothing like that. Initially, Andy held her on, but she fell by the wayside. So Fatima, gets out. Fatima got her gun, pulls her gun out, and Fatima ready to spray the whole garage. And, she was like, Andy told Fatima that Jasmine was crazy. Excuse me. And she was like, no, she ain't crazy. I'm crazy. I'm like, no, sis, Jasmine is crazy. Any person who has a gun on them and they tell the other person to empty the clip, that person is nuts. That person is insane. That person is crazy as hell. Somebody pull a gun out and you say empty the clip? What? Jasmine is gone, okay? Jasmine is gone. But then we see that cocky ass Hayden, he has recorded this entire thing. He recorded it on his phone. He approached Fatima after, Andy left. She didn't realize how much of a mess she looked, but she went home to go change, supposedly. And, Fatima was, Hayden was like, I wonder how would your boss feel if he saw this? And she was like, basically, I wonder how yours would feel if they knew what you did to Zach, period. He was in my bed last night, resting comfortably. I said, sis, I'm going to need you to pause on that. Don't brag. Don't brag about Zach being in your bed just yet. But I was like, dang, but okay, off that scene. Then, this whole thing with Calvin, this had to be one of the weakest to me storylines of this show. I hated it. It was now we found out who was in the room. That was the quickest I've ever seen Tyler give us some type of conclusion a little bit, or awareness of what was going on. So we found out that it was Maurice's friend who would use his apartment to cheat on his boyfriend. I'm just like, what? We do that? As fully as grown people, we do that? Now, maybe in college, like, hey, don't, I'm going to give you maybe a few years after college, but 36, this what we doing? No. But anyway, it was Maurice's gay friend who would use the spare bedroom to have sex. So it was not Calvin, which we knew it was going to be some type of twist. Never once did I believe that Calvin was gay. I just thought his views was, personally, he's not my cup of tea. He's not someone that I would date and feel comfortable. His ways are his ways. His ways are just not Hustle Queen Lee's preference when it comes to men. Alicia don't like that. But anyway, But he should feel comfortable in his own skin, and whatever he do, he can find a woman who loves what he loves. So Sabrina, I just really wish that Sabrina would not continue to deal with all these assumptions and make decisions based on faulty as Maurice. You can't even trust what he says. So it just amazed me how much Sabrina, how much she uses Maurice like he's a valuable resource. You know what I'm saying? To use that to make life decisions about her romantic life. And it was a poll, and it was like a poll up, and the poll was like, should Sabrina forgive Calvin? And I was like, what the hell? What? Should Sabrina forgive Calvin? I think y'all got that flipped. Should Calvin even deal with Sabrina? If I was Calvin, I would leave Sabrina the hell alone. Because Sabrina was very rude and condescending and very judgmental the last time they spoke. Hell, she's been judgmental this whole time. Now, let me not say that. In the beginning, I understood Sabrina's, hesitation with Calvin. But if you agree to be with somebody, you agree to their baggage and everything that comes with them. But you can't continue to question and, put them in an interrogation room every time you feel like something is a little off. That's no way to have a relationship. And so it still doesn't answer the question of why was Calvin at the club and who was a dark-skinned man that he was supposedly with. We don't know that. So next we get Andy. Andy is home. She done called the police. She done called Gary about what happened. The police officer shows up. Basically, he's flirting with her. He had like a little thing for Andy because he would always see her in the courtroom. And he promised himself the next time that he was in her presence that he would ask for, give her his number. He saw the ring on her hand, assumed she was married, but he still gave Andy his number. I'm like, see, you already an ex. Get out of here. Get your ass out. And so that's really what that's what that was. I just really did not. I don't know. This episode really bothered me because I really don't know why I didn't like it. Well, the scenes were too long. And that's typical Tyler, but the scenes were too long. I just think that we got 2 episodes left until the season finale of season 2. And I'm just like, there could have been so much more. I think that's what my issue is. It could have been so much more to this episode. I just felt like it was lackluster. I feel like the scenes that got the most time should not have. When Calvin was talking to Maurice at the house, it was too much. I'm just like, this thing could have been cut so short. And then, we found out that Calvin was out all night with this girl that he met. Then when Maurice goes back to the bank and he has to tell Sabrina the truth, I'm just like, what? Why did that take so long to come out? You ain't gonna believe this, girl. I got this funny story. I'm just like, it's not funny. It's not funny. You basically confirmed that this man was gay. Now, I do understand because it would be like, who else would be in his room? Well, you should have asked. And I think the thing that irks me too is that Tyler does not write them to ask specific questions. Everything is open-ended. Everything is like, it could be this or it could be that. It could be you or it could be him. It could be her or it could be she. It's like, it's too much. It's nothing like definitive. And I know for me as a writer and even as a fan, that's something that really just, it bothers me. It really does. Pam, I'm like, what person in their right mind want to hear their boss getting it in? Why the hell are you listening? Why the hell are you listening to Zach and Karen get it in this office? I don't understand it, sis. What's your problem? What's going on with you? And Pam got a man. That's the thing. You got a man, yet you are consistently in some, like, that was just too much for me because I'm just like, that probably would make me throw up. Listening to people have sex will probably literally make me sick to my stomach. And you're in that close of a vicinity to that, I probably would throw up. Like, that was disgusting. But anywho, I'm like, really, Tyler? When Aaron came back in, you talking about he left his phone in there. Are they fighting? Did that sound like some damn fighting? If that was fighting, that was the most pleasurable sounding fighting I've ever heard in my life. You could hear the oohs and the ahs and oh God. Nothing about that said, fight. It was purely sex. They purely effed. If I like saying the F word, I would say it, but I won't. They was purely effing in there. That's what that was. Straight effing. That's all it was. I couldn't do nothing but laugh when that part came on because I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off when that scene came on. Not even Fatima. Let me touch on Fatima for a moment. Um, when people, it was them. Some of them chat rooms were so quiet, baby. Those forums, not chat rooms. Lord, that show my age. Some of those forums were so quiet you couldn't hear nobody talking about Fatima and Zach. People were back trotting to the things that they said, and no, they Fatima and Zach weren't really together. Oh no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You made them a couple. Like, I saw so much backtrotting. It was hilarious to me. Now, one thing about me, I could be wrong in some of my assumptions or in some of the things that I believe is going to happen, but I would never go back on anything that I said, because at the moment, that's what the hell I believed. Just like I said earlier, I do not believe that Karen want to be with Zach. I think that was purely sex. It was purely to F him, and that was it. Zach is going to be butthurt. But anyway, with Fatima and this whole Zach situation about how Fatima has made him such a good man, how Fatima sees the best in him, how Fatima seems... Oh, that made y'all laugh too? Because I thought that was mad funny. Fatima did what? Oh, okay. Fatima did who? Oh, okay. Fatima has not made Zach a better person. Zach is not a better person. Zach is not any of those things that people were stating him to be. Zach is one of the most nastiest, trashiest ass dudes that I've seen on TV. The fact that this man, I didn't want to call him a man, the fact that this person had unprotected sex with both Fatima and Karen within hours of each other is nasty and ratchet as hell. Now, if you've done this, I'm sorry, sis or bro, but that's nasty and ratchet, okay? Did you wash? Don't. Let me stop. Let me stop. That was foul as hell. That was foul as hell. And then for me, the carelessness of Karen. This man has already burned you before, both figuratively and literally, where you had to go get something for that little problem you had down south, and you would have unprotected sex with him, not knowing who he's been with. You've been told by Danny on several occasions that Zach is seeing somebody, and you know Zach well enough that if Zach is seeing somebody, Zach is sexually involved with that person, and you know that Zach isn't using a condom, and you will put yourself in that situation to A, possibly get pregnant, or 2, to catch something because you done had unprotected sex with this man. That is a problem. And I'm like, I hate that. So we just dumb black. Don't get me wrong. These things do happen in real life. They trust me. If y'all heard the stories of some of my friends, you would not believe me. And that's straight up. You would not. And even some of my stories, I got some stories for days, and they are wild and crazy as hell. But I've never been in the business to play with people's feelings. And I know this thing with Zach and Fatima started out as her just having sex with Zach. But you could tell there has been a shift, maybe about 3-4 episodes ago. And there has been a shift. Fatima actually does like Zach. Even to the fact that we saw in the preview that she wants Zach to live with her. And I'm thinking, what the heck? I don't want no penis like that. I'm going to be straight up with you. We've seen 2 women who done got that little thing. Well, it ain't little. Done got that big monster and done moved the brother in. So I'm like, that kind of penis, Alicia don't want. I don't want no kind of penis that's going to make me move a brother in who can't do anything for me. And after a while, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Sex is a beautiful thing. Sex is a wonderful thing. But sex don't pay no bills. Sex doesn't comfort you. Sex doesn't provide a great companion. That's not what that is. You know, it's an added addition to what you might have with the person. But to me, it's not the top thing that you look for. And I'm like, he did the same thing. You getting the key to the house now? Same thing. Everything that Karen did, he found somebody to do the exact thing. I think Zach's transactional mind is only sex. I give sex, I get something. He a damn dog, which he is. You know what I'm saying? Go run, boy. They give him a treat. Good boy, come on in. Like, that's how I view Zach. I was just so irritated. I was irritated. I was mad. I was upset because I actually want to see a positive situation come out of these sisters. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And then we see next week that, Karen is with the girls and they go to Andy's house And it's like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Because you're a damn hypocrite. Everything that you stated to Andy, you went and did yourself. The only thing is you're not marrying Zach. And I don't believe that Karen is going to get entangled back in there like that. But it's like you went back. You had sex with Zach. You have hurt someone who I know you genuinely care for. You got to deal with that. And I told someone today through Instagram, I said, I want Karen to sit in this. I want Karen to feel this. I want her to feel the effects of what she's done, of what a poor decision, what it has done to somebody else. You know, and even going back to the episode where Karen told Zach in the first season, when Karen told Zach everything she wanted in a man, everything that she wanted. And Zach said, good luck finding him. And her response was, I have. And she was talking about Aaron. And this goes to show, even, you know, with women, we say we want a certain type of man. Many of us never look in the mirror to say, am I even ready for that type of man that I say that I want? Am I able to present myself as the type of woman who can receive a type of man like that? Because when you have a list and your list look real polished and real good about this type of man that you want, we got to do inventory on ourselves to say, hey, have I checked off this? Have I resolved this in my life? If such and such was to come back and proclaim his love for me, what will I do? I've had 4 men in my life who I have been, I want to say 3.5, but I'm not going to count him as a half person. So I'm going to go with 4. There's 4 men in my life who I have been emotionally attached to, because it takes me a long time to like somebody. And I have no unresolved feelings for any of them at all. There is nothing there. So being in a situation now and one of them come, I want to say situation, being in a relationship now and one of them comes back, you ain't getting nothing. I can't offer you anything but, hey, how you doing? And you know, a nice greeting and move on with my life. And sometimes we allow our past to keep us hindered, to keep us in quicksand, to keep us, you know, just creating these toxic ass patterns that we just don't need. But don't say you want a good man and you want a great man to do this, A, B, and C, and you don't present yourself as a great woman. But like I stated, I don't believe that Karen is a weak woman. I believe she had a weak moment. I think she had, you know, she just wanted to get some, and it was an opportunity that presented itself. Doesn't make it right at all. It does not make it right at all. But I am so interested to see what's going to happen with Karen and Aaron and all of them. I know that Aaron, his name is Kevin in real life, I know he filmed for season 3, so he's there. I just really want to understand his purpose. You know, what is he there for? Because his whole thing has been centered around this thing with Karen. We know that he is Gary's counselor, but are we going to learn more about Aaron in season 3? People still think he stole Karen's money, which I can't fathom that. But anyway, and if, you know, he was such this bad person, we're going into season 3. We've had what? Season 1 had 25 episodes. Season 2 has 22 episodes. So 25 plus 22 is 47. So if we've had 47 episodes and Aaron has not come out as this demon that so many people think he is, I think it's time to let it go. Just let it go. This probably wasn't even a regular review because, you know, I don't think I missed anything, but I was just so irritated with this. I just could not get into this episode. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried 3 times and it did not work for me. There's so many questions to ask y'all. How did y'all feel when you realized that Karen and Zach were indeed having sex, and the fact that Aaron walked in on them? That's something to ponder. You know, what is going to be the initial reaction right after that? What does Aaron do? You know, does he leave? Does he say, like, wait, the brother just wanted to get his phone? Like, does he take his phone and just, you know, walk away? You know, I know it's not going to be left like that. So I know it's going to be a conversation between him and Karen. And it's like, what could she possibly say in that moment? Like, I have so many questions. I know Fatima going to be done. I know Fatima going to be done with Zach ass. It's just so many things. It's just so many things. Gary tells Andy that she needs to have counseling too. And she was like, what? Why me? Trick, you need to be in counseling. That was like the best thing that Calvin has. Calvin. That was the first thing that Gary had said that I actually agree with. That's for the upcoming episode next week. But I think that's all I have. Y'all. I think just to let y'all know if y'all made it this far in the video. So starting April 1st, I'm going to have a Patreon because I want to give you guys more personal insight into my life, the things that I'm doing. So not only do I do reviews, I do have a podcast that I'm getting back up and running. I write books, I write films, and I'm in the process of writing 2 books and 3 short films. So I'm going to, let you guys in so you get like personal looks at what I'm doing, what I do in my day-to-day life and everything like that. And so I'll be dropping more information about it, as the date approaches. But I hope I didn't miss out on anything throughout all these rants I did. A question that continues to come up, and I do want to get you guys' perspective, if you don't mind. When it comes to Tyler Perry and writing narratives for Black couples, in a healthy way. I don't watch all the Tyler Perry stuff. I watch Sistas and I watch Bruh. And when that come back on, I've had several people ask me to review that, so I will review Bruh when it comes back. When it comes back on, do you think that Tyler Perry intentionally writes to make Black women look like we just don't know what the hell we doing out here? I understand in being authentic. And I understand in creating real stories, but I'm like, there are so many healthy Black relationships out there. It would be amazing to see this on screen with Tyler Perry's name stamped to it. So do you believe that he intentionally write these shows, these scenarios, and these situations? Like, do you believe that's what he feel Black love is? Now, I know Tyler Perry, he was with this girl for a long time. They broke up. I don't know if he wrote this season in the midst of the breakup. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just can't understand being a Black creative and you have the creative license to create any type of content that you want. And yet people view your shows and we don't see anything healthy concerning Black love, Black couples, Black marriages, Black women, Black men. He tends to, I don't know, it's weird watching his stuff sometimes because I'm like, where is your realm of influence coming from for you to write these types of narratives? But okay, this has been 37 minutes and 29 seconds. Like I said, I hope I got everything. If I didn't, I know. Thank y'all so much. Let me just say this. The comment section is popping, okay? The comment section is popping. You guys write so many the quality of the comments are beautiful, and I love seeing how y'all engage with each other and pose questions to each other, and everybody has been so respectful. And when I tell you, that means a lot to me, that we could be grown, that we could think differently, have differences of opinions and perspectives, and still just be cool. And I appreciate that. When I say I do, I truly do. So I thank you guys so much for your continued support and just showing love to me as I, maneuver through these YouTube waters. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I will holler at y'all later.